Lightning strikes shatter the perfect morning as a military captain kisses her police officer husband goodbye. Hours later, tragedy rips their world apart, forcing her to choose between serving her country and raising their son alone. Years of sacrifice turn to heartbreak when her millionaire son forgets the hands that raised him. Now, standing before a graveyard where their home once stood, he faces the true cost of abandonment. In the sun-dappled streets of Oakland, California, Captain Caitlyn Smith wore her military uniform with pride. The proud Army officer lived the life she'd always dreamed of, a decorated military career and a loving family. Her husband, police officer James Smith, shared her dedication to service, while their 4-year-old son Gregory filled their modest home with laughter. Life seemed perfect until that rainy October morning when the loving officer kissed his family goodbye. What seemed like just another morning goodbye kiss would become a memory Caitlyn would replay for the rest of her life. Hours after her husband departed, a high-speed police chase ended in tragedy. Detective Smith's patrol car crashed during the pursuit, leaving Caitlyn a widow and Gregory without a father. At the funeral, as the young boy clung to his mother's leg, Caitlyn made the hardest decision of her life. She resigned from her military position, knowing her son needed her more than her country did. "My son needs me more than the Army does," she told her commanding officer, trading her promising military career for the uncertain life of a single mother. The next 15 years tested Caitlyn's strength daily. With her military career gone, the devoted mother worked 3 jobs, serving breakfast at Linda's Diner, cleaning offices in the afternoon, and guarding a warehouse at night. While Gregory stayed with his aunt during her night shifts, Caitlyn saved every possible dollar in an old coffee tin labeled Gregory's Future. Despite her exhaustion, the devoted mom never missed his school events or their special evening ritual, sharing stories about his father's bravery and her military adventures. "When I grow up," young Gregory would promise, watching the sunset from their swing, "I'll buy us a huge house with the biggest porch ever. We'll sit there every day, Mom." Caitlyn's sacrifices paid off brilliantly. Her son graduated high school as valedictorian, earned a full scholarship to Berkeley, and caught the attention of a prestigious Wall Street firm. At 23, he moved to New York with $1 million starting salary. At his graduation, his proud mother watched as he dedicated his success to "my hero, my mother, who gave up everything for me." Little did she know, however, that her life was about to change forever. As her son braced for his new career in New York, Manhattan's fast-paced life slowly consumed him. His calls home became shorter and less frequent. "Sorry, Mom, crucial merger today. Can't talk, board meeting, running late. Mother's Day? I'm flying to Tokyo that weekend." Each excuse cut deeper into his mother's heart, but she never complained. She maintained his room exactly as he'd left it, dusting his trophies and polishing frames holding his childhood photos. As time took its toll, arthritis twisted Caitlyn's once strong hands, the same hands that had served her country, the same hands that had worked 3 jobs to raise her son. One by one, her jobs slipped away, and soon the mortgage bills began to pile up, unopened and unpayable. When the bank foreclosure notice arrived, the frail mother couldn't burden her successful son with her problems. The loans she'd taken for his college prep courses, his first car, and his New York apartment deposit had overwhelmed her modest security guard salary. Pride kept her silent about the mounting interest payments. Desperate to see her son, she scraped together bus fare to New York. But at his office building, the receptionist's pitying smile told her everything. "I'm afraid, ma'am, your son is unavailable today. He's in the Maldives closing a $1 billion deal for the company," the receptionist replied with practiced politeness. Caitlyn stood there, her military pride crumbling, realizing her son now lived in a world where even mothers needed appointments. The bus ride back to Oakland felt endless, each mile stretching her heart thinner, while storm clouds gathered overhead like her unspoken tears. 5 years passed. Machine-signed Christmas cards from her son's assistant were her only connection to her son. Eventually, the heartbroken mother sold everything except her son's childhood photos. She moved into a small trailer where she installed a salvaged porch swing, a reminder of happier days. Then came the Mother's Day that changed everything. Haunted by his colleagues' heartfelt stories of Mother's Day celebrations, the prodigal son's conscience finally broke through his golden handcuffs. He left Manhattan behind, his Lamborghini racing down familiar Oakland streets, each mile peeling away years of neglect. But where warm childhood memories should have greeted him, his blood turned to ice. Their family home had vanished, replaced by rows of cold graves stretching into the horizon. His expensive shoes sank into fresh cemetery soil as he frantically scanned each headstone, his heart pounding with the terror of what he might find. Frantic inquiries led him to a trailer park on the outskirts of town. There sat his frail mother on a rusted swing, thinner and grayer, but her eyes still shining with unconditional love. "My boy," she whispered, her voice trembling like autumn leaves. Her frail arms opened wide, weathered hands reaching for him as tears carved paths down her time-worn cheeks. "You finally came home." The truth crushed the prodigal son's carefully constructed world like a physical blow. His mother, a former army captain who'd sacrificed everything for him, now lived in a rusty trailer while he lounged in his Manhattan penthouse. Each memory of his extravagant parties, designer suits, and luxury cars now turned to ash in his mouth. Every $1 million bonus he'd celebrated, every deal he'd closed, every 5-star meal he'd enjoyed, all built on the foundation of his mother's silent suffering. Tears blurred his vision as the weight of his betrayal crashed down upon him. That evening, as they reconnected after 7 years of silence, Gregory made a life-changing decision. He resigned from his Wall Street position and bought a beautiful Victorian house in Oakland, just a few streets away from where their old home once stood. The new house featured a wraparound porch with an extra-wide swing, a tribute to their cherished memories. He started a local investment firm downtown, ensuring he could have lunch and dinner with his mother every day. The graveyard where their old house once stood became a regular spot for their evening walks, a powerful reminder of how close he came to losing everything that truly mattered. Today, Captain Caitlyn Smith's military uniform and Detective James Smith's badge hang proudly in their living room. Every evening, mother and son sit on their porch swing, making up for lost time, proving that life's greatest wealth isn't in bank accounts, but in the moments we share with those who sacrificed everything for us.